Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Framingham State University Admissions Information Session. My name is Nicole Mason. I am the Assistant Director of Admissions, and today I'm going to share with you a little bit about our school, including some information about academics, financial aid, information about student life, and of course, our admission standards and how to apply. If you have any follow-up questions after you see this information today, please feel free to reach out to the admissions office. We'd be happy to set up an individual appointment with you to go over any questions that you may have. So let's begin. Just a quick overview of our school. This slide here is, of course, going over our current undergraduate enrollment, which is just over 3,000 students at the time being. We are a small to medium size, depending on how you look at it. But if you are looking for more of that more small campus environment, that nice kind of cozy community feel, that's what Framingham State is all about. So we do have that smaller student body right now. We do have a relatively small average class size, as well as student to faculty ratio, which I'll cover in just a moment. But if you're someone who really appreciates those smaller class sizes and more of that family feel on campus, Framingham State would be a great fit for you. We do currently have over 35 different undergraduate majors. That, of course, ranges for anywhere from our education majors all the way to bio, to American Sign Language, fashion design and retailing, a really great variety of programs. So there's always going to be something for everyone, no matter your interests. Let's go into detail, though, a little bit more on that student to faculty ratio and average class size. So again, right now, our student to faculty ratio is 13:1. That really makes a really fun and close-knit kind of classroom environment, so that if you do have questions about course material or a project you're working on, you know for sure that you can always go to the professor. The professor's going to know who you are. You're not just going to be another number in a large lecture hall. We don't have lecture halls like that at Framingham State with hundreds and hundreds of students. You know your classes will be small and intimate so that you can focus, you can be successful in the classroom, and you can make connections. You know, being a student at Framingham State really is all about those personal connections, not only with your peers, but with your professors. Your professors are going to be your greatest allies and cheerleaders. They want you to succeed. That's something our students always tell us, is that the faculty are just so passionate about seeing students succeed, and being in those smaller class environments really facilitates that. So average class size right now is 19 students, again, giving you that opportunity to really get to know your professors and for them to get to know you. And again, you're really able to ask questions, you know, make those connections, as I mentioned, and, you know, students love to stay after class and discuss things with your professors, or get together outside of their classroom hours during the professor's office hours. That is a very common thing at FSU, and we definitely encourage that. Now, some things that really make our campus kind of fun and exciting are definitely some of our newer updates that have been done across campus, including a brand new resident hall completed a couple years ago called West Hall, as well as a new addition to our science facility. So if you are coming in for any of our STEM majors, you will definitely be working in this new wing of our science facility quite often. The new addition added 16 brand new labs to the space on 3 different stories. It's absolutely beautiful. The entire wing is soundproof as well, so it's a nice quiet study space to use as well. Going back quickly just to West Hall, the new resident hall, I forgot to mention that first-year students can live in West Hall. Usually about a quarter of the residents of the building are freshman students. So if you are a first-year applicant and you want to live in our newest resident hall in a semi-suite style living situation, you can definitely request that on your housing application. More details about Res Life will be shared in just a little bit, but I wanted to share that quick note right now about West Hall. Our main dining facility, called the Dining Commons, was completely renovated from head to toe a couple summers ago. So that is all brand new with so many different options. I think one of my favorite options of that space is the You Cook section, where students actually do get to cook their own meals with the help of a chef who is always there to guide you if you need assistance. If you don't need assistance, though, you're free to do whatever you'd like. So that's a really fun option in the Dining Commons. Framingham State also recently acquired the Danforth Art Museum, which is in the city of Framingham, but it's pretty much directly across the street from our main campus. So you can go there anytime. Students do get access to the museum for free if you'd like to go check out the exhibits. The exhibits do, of course, change frequently depending on what work they are showing, and it is a real working professional art museum with lots of different works available to view. We also host some of our Framingham State studio art courses now over at the Art Museum with some updated facilities available. And they also have community classes available for members of the Framingham area who might want to take an art class. The Warren Conference Center and Inn is also a newer addition to our campus. This is off campus as well, a little bit further, probably about a 15-20 minute drive, but the conference center is a real working hotel and conference space. So students who, especially who are in our hospitality and tourism management major, are able to go to the Warren Conference Center and complete their internship hours over there to start getting hands-on experience. So that's kind of like a built-in internship for students in that major, which is really convenient. We also have right on our campus multiple centers and institutes. And again, I mentioned internships, and this is another great example of where you can get an internship without even having to leave our campus. So while we are in a great area for internships and of course the job search after you graduate, we also have lots of opportunity right on our campus. So whether you are an entrepreneurship student in the management program or you're a food and nutrition major looking for some experience, we have the Entrepreneur Innovation Center right on campus. We have the John Stalker Institute, which is all about our nutrition in schools and education of nutrition. So plenty of opportunities directly on campus to really explore those interests that you may have, or if it's in your major, it's usually a perfect fit. And lastly, we have our brand new Dunkin' Donuts on campus, which we have to mention, of course. Students loved having this, and staff loved having this addition added to our campus a couple years ago when the dining facility was redone. So we're really pleased to now have a Dunkin's right on our campus. So here I want to go over a bit more about academics. So as you can see, we do have 4 academic colleges. That basically means, you know, your major will fall into one of those academic colleges that make up the university as a whole. And as I said before, you know, we have over 35 different majors. I will say right now, some of our most popular majors include the education programs, both early childhood and elementary. The management major is very popular, along with psychology, computer science, and food and nutrition. So I would say those are kind of our top 5 majors, just in terms of popularity right now. Those certainly change year to year, but that's what we're kind of seeing as the most popular options. Some of our other more popular things, though, among students include the sociology program, criminology. I mentioned American Sign Language recently. That is a really popular program for students looking to get certified as an ASL interpreter, excuse me. So that's a really popular option. There's so much to choose from, though, as I mentioned. And as you can see here, there's also concentrations within majors as well. So for example, if you are a biology major, you can be a regular, just general biology major, but if you have a really specific interest in the bio kind of sphere, for example, wildlife and environmental or zoology, things like that, that's a concentration available within that program. So you can really focus a bit more on your specific interest to kind of get that specialized concentration of your coursework. Now, we do offer some accelerated programs. These 4+1 programs that you see here in biotech, English, nutrition, and special ed are all done within the Framingham State University, meaning you would do your undergraduate as well as your graduate work. So 4 years at undergrad, 1 of the graduate work to equal the 5 years getting your both degrees. That is all done through Framingham State University. So those are really popular now to be able to just kind of cut down on some time it takes to complete an advanced degree. But we also offer this 3+3 law program. So with the 3+3 program, students would, of course, earn their bachelor's degree in political science. And then you would go on directly to law school. You kind of double dip during your senior year at Framingham State, and you would be doing your law degree with one of 2 options. We have 2 partnerships for this track right now. The first is with Suffolk Law School, and the second is with UMass Dartmouth School of Law. So those are 2 of the options that we offer. You would work with a specified law advisor at Framingham State. He'll be there to guide you on the process of how to apply, you know, your grades that you need to maintain, all of that good stuff. We also offer an RN to BSN completion program. So unfortunately, we don't currently offer a full 4-year nursing degree, but we offer this RN to BSN program. This is a completion program, meaning you do have to come into Framingham State already holding your associate's degree in nursing. and already being a registered nurse in the state of Massachusetts to qualify for our program, where you would come in and complete the second half of a BSN to finish out, that bachelor's degree. So if anyone listening today is a high school student looking for nursing, please just remember you cannot apply directly out of high school to our nursing program. We would need you to go to, your local community college, for example, earn that associate degree in nursing, and then transfer into Framingham State later to finish the BSN. Next, we have our pre-professional tracks. So the first is our pre-engineering. So you can apply as a pre-engineering student, but Framingham State doesn't have the full engineering coursework. However, we've developed this pre-engineering partnership program that gives you 2 years at Framingham to kind of get you ready for that engineering coursework. And then you would transfer out to either UMass Lowell, UMass Dartmouth, or Mass Maritime Academy to complete your degree there. So it's 2 years at Framingham State, 3 years at the next institution, and you would earn that engineering degree, whatever discipline you're looking for. If you go on our website, just search pre-engineering, and you can actually see a sampling of what your course schedule would look like for those first 2 years while at Framingham State. Next, we have our pre-health track. I would say out of the pre-professionals, this is probably the most popular. And our pre-health program is designed to help students who are looking to go to medical school, dental school, PA school. Maybe you'd like to be a physician's assistant. Maybe you'd like to be a physical therapist. Any of those medical fields that require that advanced degree, our pre-health program is going to allow you to build a really solid academic foundation at the undergraduate level to make you the strongest candidate possible for that next set of your schooling. So your major can be almost pretty much anything you want. A lot of our pre-health students are, of course, biology or chemistry majors because you do want that strong STEM background. However, you do have some flexibility there, and that's the type of question you can ask your pre-health advisor when you are a first year student or second year student with us. Basically, when you are a pre-health student on that track, you would be assigned a specified pre-health advisor. That's in addition to your regular academic advisor, and they're going to be there to really guide you on the course selection process. Make sure you're taking the best courses for whatever next set of your schooling you're looking to do. Make sure you're doing internships, volunteer work, research projects, really anything that's going to make you the strongest possible candidate for medical school, for dental school, whatever that next step is that you're looking to take. So that's how that pre-health track works. Pre-law, our next pre-professional, honestly works pretty much exactly the same, except for students who are looking to go to law school. So if the 3+3 law program that I mentioned isn't a good fit for you, that's totally fine. You can be a pre-law track, on a pre-law track, and then you can work with the pre-law advisor to, again, make yourself the best candidate possible for getting into law school, wherever that might be for you. So the pre-law track allows you a bit more flexibility with your curriculum and, of course, where you'd like to apply to law school, but you'll still have the guidance and the knowledge of that pre-law advisor on campus to use as, a resource for you. We do also have an honors program, so I do want to mention that all first-year applicants are automatically reviewed for an invitation to join the honors program at Framingham State. Being in the honors program is really fabulous. It comes with a lot of benefits. It's a really great community to be a part of. You will have the opportunity to write a senior thesis as a senior in the program. You get specialized 24-hour access to our honors house on campus, which is not a resident hall, but it's actually just like a private study space or like a hangout space that only honors students have access to. And you get to register early for your classes every semester. So lots of cool benefits of being in the program. It also comes with a $1,000 per year merit scholarship that is renewable for all 4 years that you maintain your status in the program. So that's a great opportunity if you really like to challenge yourself academically as a college student. Lastly, we, of course, you've probably already picked up on this, we do have a division of graduate and continuing education. So if you know you'd like to go on from your bachelor's to a master's degree, you can continue your education at Framingham State. We have a really wide variety of programs that are offered that you might want to explore later on down the line. Now, campus support and safety is so imperative to your success as a student at Framingham State. So I wanted to go over a couple of things that really help students along the way at all different facets of life throughout your time as a college student. So starting with health services, this is kind of a no-brainer. If you ever get sick as a student while you're on campus, or if you're a commuter, You can drop by the health services office to meet with a nurse practitioner. They can write prescriptions. They can help diagnose different things. If you had a major medical emergency while on campus, we do partner with the Metro West Medical Center, which is very close by to our campus. But for minor things, or like I said, if you just are feeling sick, you want to get checked out, health services is there for you all the time. We also have within the same building, actually, as health services, is our counseling center. So everyone's right within the same office space, which is really nice. And the counseling center is great. Students definitely utilize this, whether they are having a little bit of homesickness. Maybe it's that first semester you're away from home, never been out of your house, so you're living on your own. It's a lot to take in. So you might want to go speak with a counselor. Maybe during finals time, you're just feeling really stressed and overwhelmed, and you just want to have someone to talk to. That's like a perfect opportunity to go and meet with the counselor. Students can do drop-in hours. You can make appointments. You can have regularly scheduled appointments if you'd like to meet with someone on a more regular basis. But all of that is available right on campus in the counseling center. Now, switching gears a little bit to more academic support, we of course have a great office on campus. We call it CASA for short, as you see on the slide here, but it stands for the Center for Academic Success and Achievement. And CASA is an excellent resource for peer tutoring, professional tutoring, supplemental instruction, which means if you have a really difficult class, there will be a student who is hired by CASA to actually be kind of like an assistant to the professor who teaches the class. They will have specialized tutoring available just for that class. So that's a really cool option as well. We also have a completely online tutoring center, which is free and available to students to use at any time. So if you're not on campus, or you just don't feel like walking over to CASA, you can get plenty of tutoring services right online at no additional cost. CASA is also home to our Disabilities and Access Services Office. So if you do require any academic accommodations, you can meet with the staff there before the semester begins, and they will work to help you to make any reasonable accommodations that you are requesting for your success as a student at FSU. Lastly, University Police. They are, of course, monitoring our campus 24/7, 365 days a year. You will always see their cars patrolling around campus. We have a blue light system, of course, on campus, so that if you ever are, walking at night and you don't feel safe, or maybe you slip and fall, it's the wintertime, you can press that blue light. A dispatcher will be on the line with you within seconds, and a police unit will be sent out to meet you at that location. So we do have a very safe campus. All of our resident halls are locked 24/7, and you get access only to the hall that you live in. And like I said, University Police is constantly monitoring our campus. I do want to note these are real Massachusetts state trained police officers. They do work very closely in conjunction with the City of Framingham Police to make sure that not only our campus is always monitored, but the surrounding areas of campus are kept safe as well. Career services and employer relations. So much to say about career services and all the great work that they do on campus. So I could talk all day about this one, but just to give you guys a quick overview, starting with the basics, career services will of course be there to have one-on-one appointments with you for career counseling. That will include resume critiques, cover letter writing, workshops or critiques if you already have one. They'll do mock interviews with you so that if you are going into a professional interview and you've never done that before, they will be there to kind of guide you in that process. So they're very helpful in just making sure that not only are you having success with navigating the job search or the internship search, but that you are feeling fully prepared and ready to go into those situations. One great program that really helps students to feel ready for the internship or job search is our Suitable Solutions program. This is in partnership with the TJX Corporation. TJX, they own certain stores like Home Goods, Marshalls, things like that. And their corporate headquarters is actually only about a 10 to 15 minute drive up the road from our campus. So we work very closely with TJX. They take a lot of our students for internships. They host this Suitable Solutions program with us to give any Framingham State student the opportunity to start kind of getting career ready, networking events, mock interviews, things like that. It's usually a semester-long program. And for any student who successfully completes the entire semester, you are given a gift card to go to Marshalls or Home Goods to buy yourself a professional outfit for your interviews. So kind of a fun ending to a really great career readiness semester of events. And that's just one example. So career services will also host workshops on campus. They will go into classrooms and do classroom presentations. And like I mentioned earlier, they're always there for you to make an appointment one-on-one if you'd like to just go in and have a meeting with a counselor. Another great opportunity on campus is studying abroad. So if you are looking to study abroad, start planning early. That's my biggest piece of advice here. So we have tons of different approved programs available to our students. We typically have about 200 students who will study abroad every year, and there's all different types of options. So all different schools that we have direct exchange programs with, companies that we partner with for exchange programs. And if you can't find something that works for you, go and have a meeting with the director of study abroad. They are more than happy to sit down with you and talk about what you're looking for and help to find an option for you. We have, as you can see here, semester-long programs, summer programs, which are really great. If you don't want to take time out of school to go abroad, you can do it over the summer. Then we also have these faculty-led study tours. So these are really unique where they're shorter programs, they're not a full semester, usually about 2 weeks or so, either over summer break or sometimes winter break, or maybe even a quick spring break trip, where you go with Framingham State students and a faculty member, so a professor from campus, and you get a course credit for the class while going on this trip. So, there's some assignments involved, and you meet up with your group quite often doing things together, but it's a great opportunity to kind of get out there, travel a little bit. You're earning a course credit, so that never hurts. And you definitely get to make some new friends. Financial aid certainly is available if you do want to study abroad. I never knew this as a college student. I wish I did. So I'm telling you today that usually a lot of the programs our students tend to go with for studying abroad, their financial aid tends to carry over as if you're still on campus. So takes the right program, takes a little bit of research, but oftentimes you can continue to pay whatever it is you pay to attend FSU while you're studying abroad. There's also lots of scholarships available that you can apply for specifically for students studying abroad. So definitely watch out for that. And like I said, it's never too early to plan a trip. So even as a first-year student on campus, you can start researching, going to the information sessions that are typically hosted to teach students about the programs and kind of let you explore all the different options. All right, here's a little bit more about residence life and living on campus. So we currently have about 1,500 of our students living on campus, and 75% of our first-year students do decide to live on campus. You are guaranteed housing for all 4 years, should you want it. When you come in as a first-year student, you do have to just reapply every year with the housing office and just give them your preferences and then do your housing selection. But we do have 7 different resident halls on campus. I already mentioned West Hall earlier, and that's the picture here that we're showing, the brick building in the background there, that's West Hall. So that was pretty much completed just a few years ago, so still quite new, and it's absolutely beautiful. So that is an option for all students. We do not have at Framingham State a freshman-only resident hall, so you can live in almost any hall. The only resident hall that is not offered for first-year students is Miles Bibb, but all the others are available. We do also have some themed floors in some of the resident halls, and basically what that means is it is a group of students who have a shared interest, such as the Arts Collective or the Honors Floor, a New England Sports Floor, things like that. And those students have the option to all live together on a floor in one of the resident halls. So those are really fun. There's many more. You can see them all on the website, so definitely check that out. And I mentioned safety earlier, so of course the resident halls are locked 24/7. And there's also going to be professional staff members in some of the resident halls as well. We call those the area directors. They are there to oversee the resident assistants who are students. You'll always have an RA on your floor who's an upperclassman student who can help to answer any questions you have, help with any concerns you may have. If you have any conflicts with a roommate, they'll be there to kind of mediate that situation for you. And they're there to just make sure that you are having a great experience living on campus. So they're going to host events and programs for you. Usually those are just for like whoever's either on your floor or in your resident hall. So they do a lot to make sure that everyone does feel included and feels part of the community. In addition to what's going on though in your resident hall, there's always something else going on in other areas of campus. So we always encourage students to get involved while they're a student at FSU, whether that's through a club, an organization, athletics, that's a great way to get involved, or maybe you'd rather work. There's lots of on-campus job opportunities, both work study and non-work study. So any of those are a great option to kind of meet new people, expand your circles a little bit, get outside your comfort zone, and really just start making connections. I will say for athletics, we are Division III. For our varsity teams, you can go to fsurams.com to see a full list of all the athletic teams that we offer. And you can also find a list of clubs and organizations. Just go to our website and search, involvement or organizations, and you should definitely find that full list. But we do have different academic clubs. So something like the ASL club, the education club, a club that's been organized based on a major that we offer as a supplement to being in the classroom. Then there's your student clubs, of course, your honor societies within certain majors. And then our biggest kind of, club, if you will, or organization is Student Government Association. So SGA is a great way to get involved. Maybe you've been involved with student council in high school. This is a great transition if you'd like to continue with that sort of work. And that's a really great way to, again, meet new people and maybe get outside your comfort zone a little bit and start to really understand how things operate at the university level. Now, speaking of getting involved, we always want to make sure that students at Framingham State feel included and welcome. And inclusive excellence is really important to us. So we do have quite a diverse community at Framingham State. Over 30% of our students do identify as students of color. So we have a really diverse population, and really that's what makes our campus so great, I think. The inclusive excellence and our commitment to that is very evident on campus. And again, we always want to make sure, no matter who you are or where you're coming from, that you feel welcome and at home at our school. To help with that, in terms of some programming options, we have the Center for Inclusive Excellence, which puts on all kinds of great programs throughout the year. And there's actually a physical space on campus called the Center for Inclusive Excellence, where students can get together for movie nights, lectures, maybe it's like a discussion after reading a book or an article, things like that. And just like a general hangout space. But again, we always want to make sure that students do feel welcome and accepted and appreciated at our school. And I think that's just kind of the overall sense of Framingham State and what makes our community so strong. Okay, so now switching gears a little bit, we're going to go into financial aid and then the admission standards. This slide here is actually just a quick snapshot of our in-state, out-of-state, and New England Board of Higher Ed tuition and fees. So those are the three different lines here that you see. The NEBI rate basically means that if you are a New England resident coming to Framingham State for a certain major, a qualifying major, you may qualify for that lesser tuition and fees rate. If you think that might apply to you, please reach out to the admissions office. We'd be happy to look that up for you and let me know. And then we have here the average room and board. So as I was mentioning, there's 7 different resident halls and a few different meal plan options that you can select from. Those numbers that you see on the slide here will definitely fluctuate just a little bit depending on which resident hall you live in and which meal plan you choose. So just keep that in mind. 90% of our first year students who are full-time do receive some sort of financial aid. And we do ask that you submit your FAFSA form. The FAFSA goes live every year on October 1st. And the priority filing deadline to get that submitted is March 1st. We do recommend that you get that submitted before March 1st. Usually the faster and the sooner you get your FAFSA submitted to us, the better. That way it's already on file. You don't have to worry about it. That gives our financial aid office plenty of time to receive your FAFSA and then have time to review after you've been admitted to the university to put together a package for you. We do offer merit scholarships. So I mentioned earlier, an invitation to the honors program does come with a merit scholarship. Usually when you are offered a merit scholarship, that comes with your acceptance letter from us in admissions. All other types of financial aid, such as work study, loans, grants, maybe private institutional scholarships, that sort of thing, those all normally come from the financial aid office. So just, start to get familiar with who's awarding what are the different types of aid. It's very important to have a good understanding of that so that you can interpret your financial aid letter once you receive it. One great tool to share is the net price calculator. And I like to mention this, especially if you're in your research phase of college and kind of looking at numbers and different things. The net price calculator essentially will give you an estimate of what you can expect to pay out of pocket to attend Framingham State or any other institution. So if you go to our website under admissions and aid, we have a direct link to the calculator. Please feel free to use that anytime you'd like to really start to get an idea of what your actual costs of attendance will look like. And then lastly, I want to mention the IRS data retrieval tool. So if you've ever done a FAFSA, parents, if you might be listening today, It's quite a tedious process. It's a lot of information to enter. So the data retrieval tool will actually allow you to kind of auto-populate your FAFSA form by pulling your data from the IRS. All your tax info that's already on file with them will just automatically populate into the FAFSA form, just making it a really quick and more painless experience to get that FAFSA submitted. Any further financial aid questions, we are happy to talk to you one-on-one. So please email to us anytime or call the office and we can go over any other questions you may have about that. Now, talking a bit here about the first year admission standards, first and foremost, I want to mention these standards are set by the Department of Higher Ed here in Massachusetts. Being a public state institution, that's who sets our standards. And we do, of course, require your high school transcript to be submitted with your application. And the first thing we're really looking at when we receive an application is your required units. So how many classes have you taken? What classes have you taken? That's the first thing we're looking at, which you see at the bottom of the slide here. So these are what, again, the state deems as the required academic units. So it's 4 years of English, 4 years of math, 3 sciences with a lab, 2 social sciences, 1 needs to be a US history, 2 foreign languages of the same foreign language, so 2 courses, and then 2 electives. In order to be counted, these classes need to be college prep level or higher. So keep that in mind. And of course, if you've done something higher than college prep, such as honors, AP, maybe dual enrollment, that's great. We will give you extra weight for those grades when we're calculating your GPA. So we look at these units here and we are actually recalculating every applicant's GPA based on the minimum passing grade of your high school. And we are not including things like health class, gym class, internship hour, study hall, things like that do not get counted, but all of these units that you see here are counted. One thing to note regarding the foreign language requirement is that the state has an exemption in place for 2 populations of students who might not have foreign languages. The first is for students who have a language-based learning disability. We would require that diagnostic testing be submitted, and we would ask that 2 additional academic courses are taken in its place of the foreign languages. Those 2 academic units need to be college prep level or higher. The second exemption for the foreign languages is for students who attend a vocational technical high school. So if you attend a voc tech, you might not be able to take foreign languages, and the exemption is in place for you. So there's 3 options to get the exemption. The first is if you can take 1 year of foreign language, we would ask that you just take an additional academic year course of your choosing, any course, but it needs to be a full year. If you've been unable to take any foreign languages while in high school, you have 2 choices. Take an extra year of science with a lab, plus an additional academic course, or you can take a computer science course, full year course, plus an additional academic course of your choosing. So that's how you can kind of make up for those foreign languages if you're at a voc technical high school and you're graduating from a voc tech high school. And again, those are the 2 exemptions the state has in place. All other units, we would like to see when we're looking at your transcript. If you're thinking that you're missing one of these units or you don't have one of these classes, we still encourage you to apply. You will still be reviewed for admission if you might be missing a unit, but admission may be a bit more competitive for you as an applicant. So we recalculate your GPA based on these classes. We see how you've done. And if you have submitted test scores, we are a test optional school, but if you've submitted test scores and your GPA falls below a 3.0, we're going to look at this sliding scale that you see at the top of the slide here. So the sliding scale is, again, only used when your GPA is below a 3.0 and you've submitted SAT or ACT scores. And you can see here the required scores that you would need to show to be marked as meeting the minimum admission standards. If you do apply test optional, that's fine. We will just be basing our admissions decision more so on your academic work in school and that transcript and what the transcript shows. So again, we are test optional for all applicants, for all majors. You just need to select that option on your application so that we know you plan to be a test optional applicant. The other option when applying to Framingham State is applying as a transfer student. And I'm not going to go into too much detail here, but essentially transfer students are looked at with a different set of admission standards versus what we were just looking at on the previous slide. So here you would really need to just show, obviously how you've done in college, whatever college you're transferring from, whether it be a community college or another 4-year school, same set of admission standards. And essentially, if you're on the lower end of earned credits from your school, we would need to see a higher GPA, which you can see in the top box here. If you have a higher number of credits, maybe you've been in college for 2 to 3, 4 semesters already, you can have, we'd see more credits that you've completed, and your GPA can be a bit lower and still be meeting the minimum standards. If you fall somewhere kind of in the middle of that, you might qualify for this middle box here, this criteria. And just remember that as a transfer student, you don't have to meet all of these. It's just one of the boxes that you see here. Framingham State is a participating member of the Mass Transfer Program, so that's great. You can look up Mass Transfer online to learn more, but essentially it's a program between the Massachusetts community colleges and the four-year institutions to really just help make a really smooth and seamless transition for you so that you can earn your two-year degree at the community college, transfer into your four-year school, and continue on for your bachelor's degree. So lots of great benefits of going through mass transfer, such as guaranteed credit, guaranteed transfer of all your credit. We waive the application fee automatically. In some scenarios, you have guaranteed admission if you meet certain requirements. So lots of great benefits of going through the mass transfer program. So how do I apply? As a first-year applicant, you can apply via the Common App or the Framingham State application. The choice is yours. We are a Common App school for first-year applicants only. There is a $50 application fee, or you would need to submit a qualified waiver for that. So you either pay the $50 or get a waiver. If you come to campus and actually visit our school, we do offer a few waivers just for coming on a campus tour. So I encourage everyone to make it to campus someday and come and check out the school, and that will get you a fee waiver. The last required item for first-year applicants is an official high school transcript. This needs to come directly from your guidance office to Framingham State. Please do not upload this yourself. We cannot accept self-uploaded transcripts. They need to be sent officially. And those are really for first-year applicants, the required items. Now, optional items that you see at the bottom here, of course, the big one is the SAT or ACT scores. As I mentioned, we are test optional. So if you're going to apply test optional, you won't need to submit those, obviously. The other kind of bigger optional item is the art portfolio. That is only going to be needed and required for students looking to apply to studio art. There is no other major that we offer that requires a portfolio. The other items that are optional that you don't see on the slide here are letters of recommendation. We do read letters of recommendation, so if you'd like to submit those, that's great. You can still submit them, but they're not required. We ask that no more than 3 letters of recommendation be submitted if you do decide to submit them. And the other thing is an essay. So if you do a Common App, we're going to see your essay there. We're going to read that writing piece that you've submitted. But Framingham State does not have any other additional, long supplemental writing piece that you need. We just have a few basic short answer questions on the Common App if you're doing a Common application. If you're applying as a transfer student, you would just use our regular Framingham State application. You can indicate mass transfer if that applies to you right online. And we would, of course, just need your college transcripts and a high school transcript if you are not earning an associate degree. If you're earning an associate degree prior to transferring, all we would need are your college transcripts. We wouldn't need any high school information. And of course, we're going to kind of end here with our deadlines. So for those applying for the fall semester, here are your deadlines. We always have the early action deadline of November 15th, and early action is non-binding. So I just want to specify that. If you get accepted early action, that's great. You are not committed. You can decline the offer. This is not early decisions. I really want to specify that. It's just early action, and all early action applicants will receive their admissions decision on December 15th. If you apply after early action, that's no problem. You have plenty of time. The regular priority filing deadline is February 15th, and we typically take about 4 to 6 weeks to get decisions sent out for any regular decision applicants. Transfer students, if you're applying for the fall semester, you have a deadline of March 15th, so just a little bit different. So just keep that in mind. And our deposit deadline is May 1st. So that's when the day would be that we require, if you'd like to deposit and actually secure your spot to attend Framingham State, we ask that that be submitted no later than May 1. So thank you everyone again for attending. I'm just going to leave this slide up for just a moment. It has our contact information. As I mentioned, if you have any questions about the material I covered today, we do encourage you to call or email our office, and we'd be happy to connect you with a counselor. You can submit a form online instead if you wish, to actually make an appointment with myself or another admissions counselor. So just go to Framingham.edu/admissions and you can navigate to the staff page and you can see all of our calendars if you'd like to connect and actually schedule a meeting. So thank you again. My name is Nicole. It was great chatting with you all today, and I hope to see you on campus soon.